Stars and stripes in my blood, that's daily. Boots in the dirt, hard in the fight. Ain't nothing better than American life. I'm a small town rider with a big flag view. Red, white, blue hanging on my roof. Got pride in my words, got God in my chest. And I stand tall firm when my country's stressed. Folks talk loud but they don't do work. I'm grinding sun up, boots down in the earth. Family on my mind, freedom on my sleeve. If you don't stand for this land, then you're free to leave. It's America first, that's the way that I roll. From the heartland dirt to the city back roads. We rise, we fight, we pray, we
welcome on in. How's the audio video chat? Audio video, guys. Audio look good, chat.
Country boys stand when the whole world pops. Hard times hit, we don't fold or run. We pass the torch down, father to son. We build our homes, we protect our land. We ain't scared to speak up, we ain't scared to stand. Faith, freedom, family, that's the code. And I keep all three locked deep in my soul. It's America first, that's the truth that I speak. For the welders, the farmers, the strong and the meek. From the mountains high to the fields that burn, we love this land. And this America, they can talk about change, but we built this dirt. My people bleed pride, yeah, we put in the work. We don't bow down, and we don't break. We're the ones holding strong when the whole world shakes. It's America first, man, that's who we are. Faith in our hearts and our eyes on the stars. Stand tall, speak loud, let the anthem burn. Because freedom ain't free, and it's America first. 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 It's America first, that's the way that I roll. From the heartland dirt to the city back roads. We rise, we fight, we pray, we earn, and we take care of our own. It's America first. 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 It's America first.
What it do, chat? What it do, guys? What it do? Yeah, we're gonna go over some things today before we get into our nightly routine. How's everybody doing? How's the audio video chat? Audio video, video look good. Audio, everything look good today. We're gonna go over a couple things, and then we're gonna find some protests to watch. But I kind of wanted to go over a couple things this afternoon with you guys. Yeah, let's get into it, chat. This is a state lawmakers across across the U.S. join Minnesota in solidarity against ICE, chat. Okay, these people don't want ICE on the ground anymore. So, chat, let's go ahead and listen to what they have to say, and then we'll break it down, guys. How's the audio and video, by the way?
My name is Mahmoud Nur. I'm a
Let me know if the volume needs to be louder.
60B in Minneapolis. What we've witnessed and seen over the last 2 months is nothing short of an invasion of a federal government in our state, in our cities, in our neighborhoods. For the last 2 months, we've been dealing with individual rights, civil rights, broken left and right. What we have seen is our own neighborhoods and our own streets whereby we get every level of gas that can be thrown at human beings. Whether it's green color, white color, whatever it is, that we don't know the long-term impact. But above all, Renee Good and Alex Brady lost their lives. They stood up for what is right. They stood up for who we are as Minnesotans.
Audio good, chat. Audio good. Should be good, right, chat? You can't hear him. Okay, let me turn it up, chat. Give me a second.
It's a place that welcomes refugees
good?
and immigrants with kindness, with compassion.
Yeah, they're talking about treating people. I mean, Chad,
deserves dignity and safety.
you got to understand these are illegal immigrants.
Right now, Minnesotans are hiding.
And they're
There are
talking
no words
like
that can fully capture the pain,
they're talking like
the
all these
fear,
people are
the
like
disruption
you know,
families have experienced.
really
over
nice
the last
people,
2
Chad. They're
months.
not nice people, guys.
What is happening here is not normal. It's not who we are again. It should concern every American.
They're not normal,
no
guys.
matter where you
They're not
live,
normal.
Who you voted for. I personally have been stopped in my own neighborhood where they show up almost every single day to be asked to identify myself. They took photos to scan our faces so that they can put in their databases.
Okay,
Nobody's asking what they're going to do with that. They've detained U.S. citizens in front of me while I'm begging them to let them go. They kidnapped them.
So, Chad, let me just
Took them
clarify
to the
this,
federal
man.
building and released them. And some of them with the Border Patrol who came to
So ICE can detain anybody they want to, Chad. You know what I'm saying?
my neighborhood, took individuals. When they came back, they came with a lot of injuries. I'm sure you've seen the photos of Ramos, the 5-year-old. My own kid's school in middle school and high school went into lockdown because of fear of ICE being outside the school. Never imagined that we will go on a lockdown when there's a law enforcement outside.
Yeah, Chad. So basically, all these people are getting together and bitching about ICE and lying about ICE. But it doesn't stop there, Chad. Okay, and then you got people that get in ICE's way. Okay, like this jack wagon. Okay, yeah, you got this guy right here. He says he's an Army Ranger, but he's out protesting ICE. I mean, Chad Savage, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? Yeah. They stood up against the law. Every one of these idiots, exactly, man. And that's what we're going over to today. Chat is all these the idiots, and then we're gonna get into the protest later, guys. But we're gonna start out here, man. Let's go ahead and play this guy. This guy's an idiot, Chat. I mean, just listen to him, you know what I mean.
I served in the U.S. military for 20 years. I started out in 3rd Ranger Battalion. Go back to the fucking border and fucking fight the cartels. That's what you signed up for. That's what Border Patrol signed up for. They're terrorizing the population. I was just saying, like,
I mean,
in Afghanistan, we never wore masks.
Listen to this fucking idiot.
I went on 4 deployments. The only time we would wear, like, a face covering, if you're fighting the actual cartels and you're on the border, fine. If you want to protect your identity, it just makes no sense. It's here to intimidate everyone here.
Chad, was he a cook or what, man? What's up, Savage? Was he a cook? He looked like a cook, man. He's a fat cook, Chad.
You can help build the only independent news outlet, always on the ground with the people for as long.
You motherfuckers, to think about what the fuck you're doing. You shouldn't be wearing plate carriers. You should have low-vis shit on.
God, they shouldn't be wearing plate carriers, okay? Yeah, you got people like in Texas that were shooting at the ICE facility with high-powered rifles, but they shouldn't have plate carriers on, Chat, right?
You don't need every fucking licky and chewy. Maybe a couple special team guys, but not your frontline guys, the ones that are dealing with the civilian population.
Okay, so he's saying not the frontline guys, the ones that are closest to the people do not need plate carriers, Chat.
We never did that in Afghanistan. We never wore masks either. I wasn't afraid to die.
Yeah, because it's fucking hot as hell in Afghanistan, right?
They were trying to kill me. They knew what vehicle numbers I had. But I didn't wear a mask when I went to talk to the population. When I went to work with the civilians, I walked into the Afghan villages without that shit on. Hell, I didn't even wear my fucking vest.
Well, Don, thank you for your service, buddy. I'm just saying, Chad. I'm just saying, man, he's telling these guys they shouldn't be wearing plate carriers, standing on the front line of a bunch of violent protesters that could have weapons. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they do have weapons, and we don't call for violence on my channel, but Chad, they could have weapons, and he's telling these guys they don't need plate carriers, Chad.
So again, tell your special teams tell your team leader at least, you don't need to be having some fucking suppressors out here. Seriously. You're not in the stack, man. I got it. You're smiling, but it's fucking stupid. It really is. I served in the U.S. military for 20 years. I started out in 3rd Ranger Battalion, and then I ended up put in.
Hey, Don, was I right? He was in 3rd Ranger Battalion, and he was a cook.
In an OCS packet, went through officer candidate school, became an officer, went through all that training, and then I was in Hawaii.
Chad, does he look like an officer to you? I mean, I don't know, Chad. I've been around the military my whole life, man. Okay, my whole life I've been around the military, Chad. I mean, I don't know.
I took a platoon over to Afghanistan, and then from there I became a captain. Went back over as a battle captain in Iraq.
He looks like a ranger, like an army ranger, or like a, you know what I mean?
Back, and then I went back over in 2010 as a commander at 82nd Airborne. Then I came back, and then I transitioned to what they call functional area, and I became a public affairs officer. So I worked with media and stuff. And then I retired after I got shot in an insider attack in 2014. I was medically retired. Finished up my last 2 years at 3rd Special Forces Group, working with them for communications and public affairs stuff. So I had some really good soldiers there.
I mean, he said he finished up. Chad, I don't know. I mean, he said he finished up with a Special Forces Group.
And then, and then I was medically retired, and then I came back to Minnesota. I've been here for about the last 7.5 years, and I'm just amazed that I don't know why we have Border Patrol in Minnesota. They should be down on the border working cartels, dangerous actual criminals. I don't understand why they're wearing masks everywhere they go now. I don't understand why they're wearing plate carriers, why we have guys here with suppressors. There's no reason for it. It's all...
Yeah, man, it's like, Chad, it's hearing protection, okay? Chad, it's called hearing protection. Bedtime, for the tar, I don't know, right, Chad? Libtards. All right, Chad, W's for the wife with the coffee. Yeah, all right, let's carry on, Chad.
To intimidate, and it's because that little dude came here. I'm just kind of trying to figure it out. And I was sitting drinking coffee this morning, and I watched what happened yesterday. I watched the video. That officer should have never drawn his weapon. All he had to do was step up to the right side of that vehicle. She already had her tires turned.
All right, Chad. So he said all the officer needed to do with Renee Good is step to the side. Okay, when you got a vehicle coming head on at you, Chad, and you're a law enforcement officer, that car becomes a weapon. Okay, my dad was a cop for 20 years, and I've heard that. I've heard those same words out of his mouth so many times. Like watching different shows, whatever. He's like, as soon as they point that car at you, it becomes a weapon.
And one of them yelled at her to get out, and the other one was going for the door, so she probably got confused. And there was no reason to kill her. Just none at all. And, you know, I coached little soccer kids over here at these soccer fields, and I was like, what are they doing over here by our soccer fields? So I just told my wife, hey, I need to go out and show my face and support Minnesotans, support some of the civilians here, and tell these guys that, one, their leadership, I don't know what their leadership's telling them, but they shouldn't be telling them to come out here to beat up anybody. Okay, so.
Okay, not to beat up anybody, Chad, okay? But these protesters they just push them back, guys. They're doing their job. Get back, don't come on federal property. You know the drill, Chad. You know these libtard drills, Chad.
Go back to the fucking border and fucking fight the cartels. That's what you signed up for. That's what Border Patrol signed up for. Because that guy right there they want to make a political statement. Trump wants to fucking scare us and intimidate American citizens.
That's right.
Oh, Trump wants to deport illegal aliens, Chad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not.
You guys did it again. There's no reason for Border Patrol to be right here, hanging out at our National Guard Center, next to our baseball fields where our kids play baseball. I'm a soccer coach here. I coach kids right over in that field, all those fields. They're terrorizing the population. I was just saying, like, one, in Afghanistan, we never wore masks. I went on 4 deployments. The only time we would wear, like, a face covering is maybe if it was cold and my guys were on a, you know, you were pulling security somewhere, or maybe it was dusty, you wore a shamag or whatever. But we didn't wear masks. Again, this officer is not wearing a mask. He's one of the leaders. That's smart. No one here is going to be going after him. If you're fighting the actual cartels and you're on the border, fine. If you want to protect your identity, totally makes sense. But they're wearing all this gear for no reason. This is coming from the top. They shouldn't have. They should have low vis, bulletproof vests, or they should wear their fucking vests underneath a smock. If you're going to be doing this, ICE should not be running around. None of these guys should be running around in plate carriers against civilians. And they just got this huge budget, so why are they not wearing low-vis stuff? You know, it just makes no sense. It's here to intimidate everyone here, and they're trying to get. And then obviously Bovino. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. He took some glamour shots with a trench coat, and they're just trolling people. Yeah, he took it with a trench coat to look like he was some SS officer, literally. I was just like, I'm a history guy. I studied history, European history, World War II, and then as an officer, we studied a lot of history in the military. When I was at Captain Maneuver Career Course, we studied history. I mean, come on, you don't do this. I'll be honest, in Afghanistan, there's a thing called Pashtunwali. You know, if you came in and you intimidated the local populace like this and you beat up a bunch of people, they would hit back. That's how it works there. Americans are just.
Well, sorry, that's not how it works here, man. Don says, the government can't be equipped. That's what I'm saying, chat. Like, the government can do anything they want to, chat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at all these lunatics, chat. Of course they're going to wear plate carriers, chat. You know what I mean? Lunatics. The guy had the gun the other day. Alex was the name. Alex, pretty good. You know, he had a gun. I mean, if they weren't wearing plate carriers, you know, something bad could have happened, chat.
It's very nice. They're out here protesting. Again, if these guys weren't here, none of these people would be here. The other thing is, ICE needs to be observed. So if you got bystanders who are trained, which I've seen, I haven't gone to any training, but I've seen flyers for.
And chat again. This is before they put up all the barriers and the dog kennels. This is before that, and this is what they had to deal with. Like, this is before they put up the dog kennels, in Minneapolis. So this is what they had to deal with, Trip.
For it, you go to training and you're there to document what they're doing, and yeah, you shouldn't get in their way, but you're there to document. And so I was trying to figure out there was no reason for that guy to kill her.
All up in the road. They won't let the cars pass. They keep pushing in. These guys have to push them out. So they ended up putting in the dog kennels, you know what I mean? And putting them all in the dog kennel.
It's like, and they showed up one day early. It just is weird. Like, Bovino shows up and then they kill a woman, a young mother, or, you know, middle-aged mother. I'd say young because I'm 53. And there's just no reason for it.
Ex-Ranger wife here and mother of Special Forces. That's an insult to Rangers. What, this guy right here?
And then the training on that guy. And I just think Minnesota needs to indict him and bring him back here, and let's adjudicate that through the system. And because what it sounds like is the federal, I don't know, I hope the federal DOJ fucking prosecutes him, and they should. And I watched that video at least 30 times yesterday. I was incensed this.
I mean, chat, look at the crowd, okay? Look at the crowd up against the federal building. What do you want them to do, guys? What do you want? Very much so. Missy, I'm glad you're here. Look, what do you want them to do, Chad? That's why they had to put the dog kennels in, because watch all these people, Chad.
This morning, I haven't come out to this stuff. I don't come out to this. I went to one protest with my wife. It's not that I don't. I support. I'm definitely a DFLer in Minnesotan. You know, on my Facebook, I let everyone know I'm an ex-communicator from the military, so I know how to communicate.
Chad, I'm sure he does let everybody know that he was in Special Forces.
I'm going to tell you like it is, and usually I'm dropping about 10 F-bombs, but since I'm talking to you guys, I'll go. I'll try not to. But I just think there's no reason for plate carriers. There's no reason for all the, as they call it, in Rangers, we called it the Gucci gear. You don't wear Gucci gear to talk to civilians. When I was in Afghanistan,
Yeah, these are civilian, left wing, far left wing protesters, guys. Hey, what's going on? He was probably in signal chat. He probably was. Chat. He probably was.
I was going in to talk to the civilians as a commander at 82nd Airborne. We took off all
I hope he's not getting a retirement, guys. Man, his pension might be taken away. You know what
of
I
our
mean?
gear, put it in the truck, all of our combat gear, no mask, in the truck, and most of my soldiers did too, other than the local perimeter. And then we went and talked to the local leader, the local mayor in Afghanistan, as you call him, because we were trying to create
I'm doing great, Faye. I'm doing great.
You don't gain partnership.
How's the
by
audio and video chat?
coming
Audio
up
video
here
good?
and sending all your dudes with plate carriers. And we got guys with silencers over here. Okay, if they're the special ops team or they're the special reaction team, they should be back in the parking lot.
Yeah, there. Chat once again. It's called hearing protection. Okay, chat. I have one. I have two or three. You know what I mean? It's hearing protection, guys. If you don't know how loud a firearm is, guys, it's called hearing protection. That thing you put on the end, chat. It's hearing protection.
They shouldn't be showing their stuff. There's no reason for that. They're doing it to intimidate a bunch of old people. I'm 53. There's a lot.
Cheryl, we're doing a review. I'm just kind of doing like a pre-show before we get into the the live. We're just kind of doing a recap, Cheryl. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. Make sure you hit that share and make sure you hit the bell icon. Thank you, chat.
A lot of old people out here. We're incensed because somebody came in here who's untrained and he could have got out of the way. All he had to do is take a step out. There's no reason for him to try to.
Okay, chat. You guys saw the video. Could he have stepped out of the way? I mean, he actually hit him. There's footage out that shows that she hit him with the vehicle, guys. My dad was a cop for 20 years again, and anytime that somebody comes at you with the intent that she did, that car becomes a weapon, guys. And he was justified in what he did.
They're told, I watched on CNN where somebody read the DHS standard operating procedure, or what we call an SOP, and it said, you do not block vehicles, you don't shoot at vehicles going away from you, you look at her tires. I told everyone yesterday.
Okay, for number 2, chat, the car was coming at him, actually struck him. Okay, and he was justified in what he did, chat.
I said, all you got to do to know that she wasn't charging him was her tires are fully turned, and she was trying to just get around that car on the right side, and that officer came around, and then because
oh yeah, chat, you could definitely hear her. She backed up, spun her tires, chat. You could actually see her tires spinning, and was going directly at that officer. I mean, chat, he had split second to make a decision, and that's what he did.
He was too close, or he stepped into the vehicle. He had his weapon out. He shot her for no reason. And then it was like he went after her, like he was chasing her to kill her.
That's the problem with these libtards, man. They see what they want to see, guys. They don't see what chat. You could show them guys anything in the world. They're not going to see reality, guys. They see fucking what they want to see, chat.
Yeah, before she was, yeah. So again, I watched it. I was incensed. I said that.
Yeah, they gave her multiple commands to get out of the car, 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 and she didn't listen, chat. She put the car in reverse, spun the tires, and headed towards that ICE agent. And he did what he had to do, Chad. He did what he had to do.
That is just wrong. And then the problem is it makes all these guys look bad. And there's probably good people here. There's good people in the programs.
So, Chad, look at the crowd here. Look at the crowd, okay? He's saying that they don't need bulletproof vests, plate carriers. Yeah, look at the crowd here. I mean, when you're dealing with a mob like this, you're going to wear a plate carrier, okay? Local police department would have their plate carriers on because, chat, you don't know. You got a crowd of people here. You don't know who's got what. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Look at Jake Lang when he went in Minneapolis. Thank God he was wearing a plate carrier because they tried to stab him, chat, and luckily he had a plate carrier on, and it stopped it, chat. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, what we know about ICE in the past is they went and actually got bad people. The other thing is the problem is it's not these guys either.
Chat. Okay, so he said we know all about ICE in the past. Okay, under Obama, 3 million people were deported. Okay, there was 59 deaths under Obama. Okay, where were all these people then, chat? Where were all these people then? They were nowhere to be found, guys.
This administration, the Democrats and Republicans, you can say both.
Yeah, Faye, I'm looking forward to that too. When Jake comes back next week, chat. Okay, guys.
We haven't taken care of. Our Congress hasn't settled the immigration issue, and they screamed Biden let all these people in. Well, one, they lied a lot, so we can't really trust all their numbers. And then they break down our organizations, they break down our government. So then our government isn't like, people don't trust the government. Why are you doing that? The goal is these guys want to have trust. Their moms and dads, and they work. How do you do? I don't understand why you would break trust with your own civilians.
Do you believe that all this chaos
is on purpose?
Trump to invoke the insurrection?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I thought yesterday. I was like, I don't know. I would like to have been in the team room before those guys went out, and some of these guys, and I'd like to hear what the team leaders and some of these leaders are telling the foot soldiers, as we say. If it's okay, so we have a thing in the military called commander's intent. Okay, so if I go into a village and I say, hey, listen up, we're going in, we're doing an aid package, we got these vet techs and these doctors, and we're going to go in and work with their animals and the people, and we're going to do a med cap or something. I don't tell my soldiers, hey, you need to go in, make sure you show force, I want you to be, cover everything, we're going to go in hard, we're going to do this. No, I'm going to say, hey, listen, we're going into a civilian village. Intel is telling me, these guys have intel people. It tells them these are all civilians. They probably know who some of that stuff. But you don't tell them, hey, we're going to go in there and do this. You give a commander's intent that's like, hey, we're going to go into this area. We're going into a village. We're doing a med cap and to work with medical, whatever. We're going to be helping them. So I need you guys, make sure you're not looking intimidating. Let's do everything right. I still go through the same battle drills, everything else, like if we were to take contact, but we go in, we take our gear off. I go and talk to.
Okay, you take your gear off. Okay, what he just said is if they get engaged and they got their gear off, what the fuck good is your gear doing? Yeah, what good is the gear doing if you take it off, Chad? They gave you gear for a fucking reason, to save your life. Okay, if you take it, we're going in for medical, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? But if you take your gear off and you need it, you know what I'm saying? You don't have it.
Civilians with nothing on, just myself with my face.
Oh, Chad, he takes his gear off and walks into a Taliban village and, he don't have any gear on, Chad. Doesn't have mask, doesn't have a helmet, nothing, a cowboy helmet, nothing, Chad, nothing.
And whenever I went and talked with Shura leaders or local Afghan leaders, there was always Taliban in the crowd. There's always Taliban.
Yeah, there's always Taliban in the crowd, but he doesn't put his plate carrier on. How fucking stupid is this fucking idiot sound, Chad?
And they know who I am. And some of them I knew who they were, kind of knew who they were. But I wasn't afraid.
So you're saying that you knew the Taliban and you didn't do nothing?
That's my job is here. I'm not. Why are you afraid of civilians? Yeah. I don't think. I think they're being told to do that. There's a couple of them that are brave, or at least they're at least trying to say transparent. Putting a face mask up is not being transparent. You're supposed to be law enforcement. You're supposed to be protecting people. You're supposed to be doing your job. Again, the plate carriers, that must be from high. They should be wearing low-vis body armor underneath smocks. Even the ICE people, I don't remember them wearing all this gear a few years ago, right? They went and got criminals in high-risk areas. Why are they wearing all this stuff? They're wearing shit like they're in the Stack and Ranger Regiment and they're going in on a fucking tier 1 target. These guys aren't with CAG. They're not with anyone. There's some guys that should be like that. They should be highly trained, but they should be on the border fighting the cartels.
Okay, Chad. So he said they should be on the border fighting the cartels. Have y'all heard the latest news from the border, chat? Anybody in chat heard the latest news from the border? That we have that we have the Mexican military coming across our borders in Texas, chat. In Texas, guys. It's an investigation going on right now, chat. There's video footage of the Mexican military coming across our borders in Texas, guys. All right, chat. So these are the people they arrested. I think it was yesterday, guys.
24-hour period. They include 2 accused sex acts with minors, 1 with an assault conviction, and another convicted of assault.
Okay, chat. These are the people that they are protecting. These are the people they are protecting. Let us think. If you're a lefty in here, this is who you're protecting right here.
Assault with a deadly weapon. President Trump praised the operations in Minneapolis and other cities.
We have brought down crime very substantially in Minnesota. We've taken out thousands of hard criminals, hardened, vicious, horrible criminals. New Orleans, Louisiana, I was asked by the governor of Louisiana to help them with New Orleans. It was a disaster, and crime is down 54% in about 3 weeks.
The operation in Louisiana that the president was talking about is called Catahoula Crunch. And since early December, agents in and around New Orleans have continued arresting nearly 300 criminal.
Yeah, Chad. So it's happening all over the country, guys. It's happening all over the country. And Minnesota seems like they're the only ones that got a problem with it, Chad.
Illegal immigrants. Republican Louisiana
and your sanctuary states, you know what I'm saying?
Governor Jeff Landry is in focus. And Governor, it is great to see you. The last time we were together on that HBCU campus in Southern University. So it's good to see you today. Talk to me about what is working on the ground as you work with ICE.
Well, look, first, Harris, we'd love to have you back on Southern's campus and love to have you dancing with the band again. So, again, thank you for having me. Look, again, when ICE agents came to Louisiana, we made it clear that we wanted to ensure that we took criminal, illegal aliens off of our streets. I mean, we have seen a reduction in crime. A lot of that has been because of the resources and assets and the cooperation that President Trump and Secretary Noem have given to the state of Louisiana. And it is real. It is tangible. Our people are safer today because of those operations. What's going on in Minneapolis is really a dereliction of duty by those government officials.
I mean, chat, look at the people getting in the way. It's usually Karen's, you know what I mean? Winter, what's up? How you doing? Glad you're here, buddy.
Who are basically stoking this type of protest. Remember, the president, Secretary Noem, those ICE agents are simply following the law. Those are laws that were passed by Congress. Those are immigration laws.
Yeah, chat, if they want to stop ICE, go to Congress. Okay, go to Congress. Congress passed the law. You know what I mean?
It's been decades of basically borderless, open borders that Democrats have allowed these people to pour in. And the president said,
I'm doing amazing, Chad. I'm doing amazing. Make sure you hit the like button, guys.
Coming over the border, a lot of them were very violent. They were emptying our jails. We had child predators. We had a lot of drug trafficking going on, human trafficking, and the Democrats just.
Yeah, would you guys protect some of these people they're talking about, chat? And the left is protecting these people. Why would you protect that, guys? Why? Is it for a vote, chat? Is that the case?
Sat there, just mums the word, did not care, dog whistling them in. And then they wreak havoc on our cities, and we have to do something.
Yeah, they've always got people up on them, man. Just let them do their fucking jobs. Okay, don't get within 5 feet of them and let them do their fucking jobs.
About it, but in Louisiana, it's a safer state.
Fucking Karen right here won't let them do their fucking jobs.
Than it was before.
Look, obviously, there are pockets in the country of Democrat-led areas as well. You've got Houston, Boston, where they are. Well, look at Mayor Bowser in Washington, D.C. early on in this process, cooperated with ICE. I thought this was an interesting development. Apparently, Attorney General from Minnesota, Keith Ellison, has told Tom Homan the borders are now, and basically just
what's up, Frosty? How you doing, brother?
Now entities can and may begin giving notice to ICE should they be housing and then letting go any wanted criminal illegal aliens.
And Chad, we're gonna get to what Tom Homan said this morning, guys. We're gonna break that down and go through that with Tom Homan. Just give me a minute, Chad.
That seems to be a shift, but that's how the law works. So are they no longer a sanctuary city would be what I would ask.
Look, if Keith is going to do that, look, my kudos out, big shout out to him as well, because again, that's just common sense. Why would you want to allow violent criminals?
Yeah, look at all these people. How many Somalians do you see in this crowd right here? How many Somalians do you see in this crowd, Chad? Remember last night when the Somalians at the end of the stream came into they came in when everyone was getting arrested, and what were they doing, Chat? What were they doing when all these white people protesters were getting arrested, Chat? They were laughing. They were laughing at it. They thought it was funny.
On your street. I mean,
they're like, "Hey, we're committing fraud here, and you guys are stupid enough to stand up for us and get arrested, and we're just going to keep stealing your taxpayer money."
why would you do that? I mean, that's the whole reason we have bail. That's the whole reason we have a criminal justice system. But if you come into the country, if you came into the country illegally and then you commit violent acts, that gives us the ability to immediately deport you and get you completely not only off of our street, but out of our country as well. And that keeps people safe.
There is new Fox polling, and I want to get your reaction to this. It shows 52% of voters overall approve of President Trump's job performance on border security. Looking party by party, 85% and 89% of Republicans approve of Trump's job on immigration and border security. So he's doing well there. But when you look at the majority, the number is much lower. How do you account for that?
Yeah, again, I just think it's a lot of propaganda.
Chad, I mean, if you're gonna sit there and say you hate our country, you're not American. You know what I mean? If you're gonna burn our flag in the fucking middle of the street, you're not a fucking American. You're a fucking traitor to this fucking country, guys.
And I mean, I'd like to go and ask those same Democrats if they like their communities to be dangerous or they want their streets safe. Do they want their children to be able to walk to school, or do they want to have to worry if they send them on the sidewalks that unfortunate, violent things are going to happen to them? And I would like to see what that response is. Look, when you lean in and you make public safety the #1 priority, all Americans benefit. I mean, it is something that transcends across party lines. I still have not met anyone out there that likes to invite criminals into their homes.
Have you seen any?
Yeah, there's a video. There's a video going around on YouTube. I wish I could find it, but the guy actually he goes up and he's got a book in his hand and he's talking to people about the Somali community. And they're like, "Yeah, we support it. We support it." He's like, "Well, I'm glad you support it because we're trying to get more Somalians in our country. Will you be willing to house one of them?" And as soon as he said that, chat, 99% of them said, "No, I can't do that right now. I can't do that right now. I can't be housing anybody right now. My house is full."
Any pushback in your state early on in this? I mean, things are working now. So as you said, no, we cooperated. But what about in the beginning? Because it seems, when you look at Minneapolis, then you had the church that was hit by protesters just next door in St. Paul. Is it just Minnesota?
Well, I can tell you, at the beginning, there was a little bit of uneasiness, but we worked through it with the local officials, irrespective of their party affiliation. We made sure that everyone understood what the laws were, what the operations were, why they were here, and then we leaned in. We also ensured that the state police worked with the ICE agents, local law enforcement as well.
Detaining children, Chad. That is so far from the truth, guys. That little boy's dad left him, saw ICE, and ran. He ran, Chad, left his kid in the car. Who does that? What parent does that, Chad? What parent freaking does that? I don't care if I'm going to get deported. I'm not leaving my freaking son or daughter in the car, Chad. Okay? I'm not doing it.
As well, to make sure that we didn't have the unrest that's going on in Minneapolis. And we certainly didn't go out there and basically incite it or encourage it. In fact, we did the opposite. We said, if you're going to act like that, I can tell you this, if someone would have kicked an ICE vehicle in New Orleans when they were there, they were going to jail immediately.
Governor Landry, great to have you today. Thank you for being in focus.
Thank you.
You know, Chad, so 20 years, I grew up with my dad being a police officer and riding around. I did ride-alongs with him almost every weekend, guys. I didn't go hang out with my friends on the weekends. I rode around with my dad, man. I did ride-alongs. Um, and Chad, the police department, law enforcement, yeah, you got some bad eggs, Chad. You got some bad eggs, but the majority of law enforcement are good people, Chad. And let's say that guy he's like, okay, I'm illegal. I got my son in the car. I don't think they would have ripped him out of the car, Chad. I really don't. I think they would have handled it professionally and maybe not even put him in cuffs, Chad. You know what I mean? Got him and his son, put him in the car, whatever. Took him to the detention facility. I don't even think they would have put him in cuffs, Chad, to be honest with you. If he cooperated, you know what I'm saying? But he got out and ran and left his son in the fucking car.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.
Yeah,
Federal
Chad.
agents in Minneapolis.
Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. All right, Chad. Now we're gonna get to Tom Homan this morning, guys. Okay. All right, this is Tom Homan this morning. Chad. Now I want you to listen to what he said, Chad, because Chad, they're not backing down. They're not gonna pull ICE off the streets, guys. They're gonna do targeted. Let's just listen to him, Chad.
Too early, isn't it?
All my cousins in Texas
I've
are
been
Border
given
Patrol.
talking
Sure, let's
points,
get it.
I don't like reading speeches, never have, but my chief of staff did put some stuff down here in writing just to make sure I don't miss anything. So I'm going to be reading a little bit, and then we're going to open up for questions. I've been on the ground less than 3 full days. I got in here Monday. President of the United States called me Monday morning and asked me to deploy here. Got here Monday evening, and I'm staying till the problem's gone. But we've made a lot of progress. A lot of progress.
Okay, Chad. He got there on Monday. What did we see Monday, Chad? What did we see Monday happen? We saw the police department. The day he arrived, we saw the sheriff, state troopers arrest all those people that were destroying no, that was Tuesday. Sorry. Monday was I think it was Monday, wasn't it, Chad? All the people destroying the hotel. It took cops 2 hours to get there. And then Tuesday, when he showed, no, that was Sunday. So Monday, when he shows up, the cops are involved. So obviously he did something Monday, right?
In the last 3 days.
Oh, Chad, I would not want to do his job at all. He probably hasn't got any sleep, dude. I mean, Minneapolis is out of control, Chad. And it's going to get worse. It's going to be there tonight, and it's going to be really bad tomorrow night.
Marcos Charles, he's running ICE operations here. There you go. Rodney Scott, Commissioner of Customs and Border Protection, standing here beside me. Good morning, I'm Tom Homan, I'm the Border Czar for President Trump. I'm here on behalf of the President, along with U.S. Commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Rodney Scott, and Marcos Charles, who's leading the enforcement effort here right now. I've been on the ground since Monday to regain law and order in the city beloved by many, and work together to remove threats from the community. During the past administration, we'll all remember, more than 10 million illegal aliens entered this nation. Many were national security threats, public safety threats. We can't remember over 2 million known gotaways. 2 million people who paid more to get away. Why? That just scared the hell out of everybody.
Yeah, so a gotaway. Yeah, do y'all know what a gotaway is? Instead of coming on our country legal, they paid more money to get in here illegally. Okay, that should scare the shit out of everybody. Like he just said, that should scare the shit out of everybody. They paid more money to get in here legally, or they would have paid. They paid more money to get in here illegally. So instead of going through the vetting process, because they're probably most likely drug smugglers, criminals, convicted murderers. So they paid more money to get into our country to get smuggled in here, Chip. That's to scare you guys. I'm just saying.
President Trump promised American people, including the residents of Minnesota,
Again,
that he would work
Tank,
to
stop
ensure our
spamming my
communities
chat,
are
bro. You
safe.
do this every day,
And
man. You
with
do it
that,
every day. Stop
this
spamming my
administration
chat
has
with the same
absolutely
thing, please.
focused on identifying removal aliens that pose a public safety threat and national security threats. And the numbers prove it. The data proves it. In the past few days, I've met with Governor Walz, Attorney General Ellison, Mayor Fry, numerous police chiefs and sheriffs, and I have more to meet. I'll also be continuing the dialogue with business and religious leaders in partnership with Minnesota, your community leaders. I'll be meeting with them too because I want to hear what they have to say. In my meetings with folks so far, and most importantly, the governor and the AG, the Mayor Fry, we didn't agree on everything. I didn't expect to agree on anything. I've heard many people want to know why we're talking to people who they don't consider friends in administration. Bottom line is you can't fix problems if you don't have discussions. I didn't come to Minnesota for photo ops or headlines. You haven't seen me. I came here to seek solutions, and that's what we're going to do. And we've come a long way, and we got some good wins for the people of Minnesota, I think, and for the administration and for the safety security.
Yeah, let me say, this man right here is a bulldog, man. He gets the job done. That's what he's paid to do. That's why Trump sent him in, to get shit done.
Of this city. One thing we did agree on, though, everybody I talked to agreed on, was that community safety is paramount. One thing we all agreed on was U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement is a legitimate law enforcement agency that has a duty to enforce the laws enacted by Congress and keep this community safe. Like I've said many times for the last several years, even before this administration, jurisdictions that refuse to cooperate with federal immigration authorities are sanctuaries for criminals. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals.
Chat, you could talk. Chat, you could chat. The guy that keeps spamming that over and over again. Chat, discussion is welcome. You can comment, chat. Just, the guy was spamming the same thing over and over again. He did it 3 times already. You know what I mean, chat?
I didn't ask him.
I want to have discourse, chat, but that's called spam. I mean, that's all he's doing.
Take criminal aliens off the street. What we did agree upon.
He does it every day, chat. He does it every day.
Is not to release public safety arrests back in the community, and they could be lawfully transferred to ICE. I'll speak more about that. I will highlight that the Minnesota State Prison System under the Department of Corrections have been honoring ICE detainers. And we appreciate that important collaboration, and we're going to expand upon that. That decision has made Minnesota safer, not only for residents of Minnesota, but the men and women of law enforcement. Not just ICE, all law enforcement. Rather than arresting the same public safety threat, significant public safety threat over and over again, they agree to work with us to identify those people and remove them.
And Chad, another thing I want to touch on, man, is I grew up around law enforcement my whole life again. Chat, law enforcement has each other's backs, guys. Just like the military, law enforcement has each other's backs. And that's not happening in Minnesota. I mean, it kind of is now, and it's not the police department's fault. It's the government's fault, Chef. The local government told them to stand down.
I'm also pleased to announce I had a very good meeting with Attorney General Ellison, and he has clarified for me that county jails may notify ICE of the release dates of criminal public safety risks so ICE can take custody of them upon the release from the jail. And let me tell you why that's important. I know people are a lot concerned about the manpower has been sent in, law enforcement manpower. Look, I've said this many times before. I've said it for the last several years. Give us access.
That probably was. Oh, I didn't. Frosty said the city cops blocked off Homeland's Hotel. That might have been the hotel they were at last night, Chad. I don't know.
It's safer for the
I can tell you one thing: they didn't scare him one bit, and they all ran like cockroaches.
Street arrest. It just made common sense. And for the people that argue, well, we're a welcoming community because we want victims and witnesses of crime that are here illegally to feel safe to come to police without fear they're working with ICE. We're not going to talk to the victim and witness of crime. There's no problem there. They should feel safe to come to the police and ask for help. All we want is to talk to the person that local and state law enforcement authorities locked in a jail cell.
It's a fancy hotel. Hey, it's all right.
Lock this person up. That's who we want to talk to.
I've stayed in more expensive.
So that argument is that protects victim witnesses of crime. It's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, tomorrow, Tuesday. I think tonight we'll have some protesters out there, but I think tomorrow's going to be the big one.
So great progress with the Attorney General and local sheriffs. And one thing, when we have these agreements, it takes less law enforcement agents to do the job. One agent can arrest one bad guy in the safety and security of a jail where he's behind the wire. We know we don't have weapons. But when you normally release that public safety threat, illegal alien back in the community, we have a job to do. We're going to arrest him. So we're going to find him. And what happens is now we got to arrest somebody on his turf. We have access to who knows what weapons.
Faye, it could get really spicy. Tonight, it could, too.
Cover the back door, cover the front door, officer.
And we're definitely going to be covered as Jake Lang.
The hateful rhetoric and the attacks on ICE officers, now we got to send a security team behind the arrest team. So what could have been done with one person in a safety and security jail?
Yeah, Chad. So what he's saying is, so they're sending out, so they want the government to, when they have these people in jail, they're releasing them out on the streets. Okay, they don't want that. They want them to release them to ICE. Okay, that keeps the officers safe. That from all these libtard people that are blocking ICE, following ICE. So when they do that, they have to send out a protection team to protect the agents that are on the ground. Okay, so if they would just release these people, these criminals into their custody, illegal aliens. And not release them out on the street, man, it would make everything easier, Chet. That's what he's saying.
Now we got 15, 16 people out there doing it. I know that causes stress in the community. So if we get these agreements in place, that means less agents on the street. More agents in the jail means less agents in the street. This is common sense cooperation that allows us to draw down on the number of people we have here. Yes, I said it. Draw down the number of people here. Because we have the efficiency and safety of the jails and the prison. Matter of fact, I have staff from CBP and from ICE working on a draw down plan. What does that look like?
It's really late there. What time is there, Faye?
Based on how many targets we have left to find.
Like 10 o'clock? 10:30 yet. Good night, Faye.
In my meetings with Governor Walz, A.G. Ellison, and Mayor Fry, as well as state and local law enforcement, again, I appreciate they all acknowledge that we do have federal immigration laws in this country that have been passed by Congress, and that ICE is, in fact, a legitimate law enforcement agency charged with enforcing those laws. We're not making this up, folks. ICE is enforcing laws enacted.
All right, Faye, good night. You get some rest.
That said, I'm not here because the federal government has carried this mission out perfectly. First thing I said to senior staff when I walked in here is what I told you earlier. I didn't come here looking for photo ops or headlines. I come here looking for solutions. I do not want to hear that everything's been done here has been perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. Anything can be improved on. And what we've been working on is making this operation safer, more efficient, by the book. The mission is going to improve because of the changes we're making internally. No agency or organization is perfect. And President Trump and I, along with others in the administration, have recognized that certain improvements could and should be made. That's exactly what I'm doing here. As such, in meetings I've had with federal law enforcement managers, including ICE and CBP and other federal partners, as well as state and local officials, I have conveyed the President's expectations with regard to federal immigration enforcement efforts. We will conduct targeted enforcement operations. Targeted. What we've done for decades. When we hit the streets, we know exactly who we're looking for. Good idea where we may find them. You have a criminal history. You have their immigration history. A lot of information about this person that we get from numerous databases out there. Targeted, strategic enforcement operations. That's traditionally been the case.
And chat, where they run into the problem when they're doing this, you got all these fucking libtards in the fucking way. That's the problem, guys. That's the problem.
And that's where we're going. That's what we're going to continue to do and improve upon that. With a prioritization on public safety threats. I want to be clear. I don't read a lot of social media. I don't read a lot of media. I don't believe half what I see. We are not surrendering the President's mission on immigration enforcement. Let's make that clear. Prioritization of criminal aliens doesn't mean that we forget about everybody else. That's just simply ridiculous. But when you have a criminal standing here and a non-criminal standing there, that criminal always should be targeted first because he's a significant concern to the safety and security of the community. By at large, for decades, ICE and CBP have carried out their duties with integrity, professionalism, and compassion. That remains the expectation under President Trump, and I will, hold our agents and officers to that standard. I'm almost done, then Tom can be Tom. As far as the agitators, that said, I want to reiterate and make very clear. I want to make it clear.
Chat, did you see him? He's trying to hold back. He really wants to be Tom, but he's really trying hard to hold back. Chat, now let's do it.
ICE and CBP officers are performing their duties in a challenging environment under tremendous circumstances, but they're trying to do it with professionalism. If they don't, they'll be dealt with. Like any other federal agency, we have standards of conduct. They are sworn law enforcement officers working tirelessly to enforce our country's border security and immigration laws, protecting the interests of our country and preventing dangerous people from walking the streets of this nation when they're not supposed to be here to begin with. Men and women of ICE, I was a Border Patrol agent. I was an ICE agent. I was the first ICE director that came up through the ranks. I spent over 40 years doing this. These men and women that carry that badge and gun are American patriots.
You goddamn right they are. Patriots in the chat, guys. Patriots in the chat, guys.
They put themselves on the line for this nation every day. But I want you to remember, they don't hang their badge. They don't hang their heart on a hook every day they come to work. They're mothers and fathers too. They're sons and daughters too. And if they've seen a fraction of the tragedies I've seen in my career, they take a lot of damage home to every day. The things they've seen, especially on the border with Border Patrol agents. People drowning in the river. Women being raped by criminal cartels. Giving CPR to a baby that was thrown in the river by the cartels because Border Patrol came too close. So let's throw the baby.
These are the kind of people that they are protecting. You know, they're bringing a baby and a family across, and the ICE agents show up, and guess what they do? They get rid of the, you know, what he just said. That's fucking bullshit, guys. And the left, this is what the left is protecting.
In the river, that way the Border Patrol was concentrating on that so I can get away. These men and women see some terrible things. But I want you to remember, they're mothers and fathers too. Many of them are members of this community. God bless every one of them.
Yeah, Chad, these aren't stories. Well, these aren't stories, Chad. It's the truth, guys. And this is what the fucking left don't understand. Or they're just too stupid to understand it, Chad.
The hostile rhetoric and dangerous threats and hate must stop.
You know, what if one of these guys is running through your neighborhood and grabs your daughter or your son as, you know, like a shield or protection or like that, Chad? You know what I mean? They don't care, Chad. They do not care. You don't want these people in your cities, man. And that's why ICE is coming in and trying to get rid of these violent criminals that are in our country illegally. And Chad, if other immigrants, illegal immigrants that are nonviolent are around them, well, guess what? They're illegal immigrants too. They might not be violent, but they're still here in our country illegally. So they're going to take them too.
And we all agreed to that. All everybody met here today, we got to stop the rhetoric, the hateful rhetoric that has caused an increase in assaults. That has caused, because of that, having to send security teams out with arrest teams, which surge the city with additional resources because of the rhetoric, because of the threats, because of the assaults. Again, with the agreements we've achieved in following through the agreements, with the rhetoric dropping down, that allows us to pull more agents out once we feel the environment safer. I begged for the last 2 months on TV for the rhetoric to stop. I said in March, if the rhetoric didn't stop, there's going to be bloodshed. And there has been.
And that's exactly what the left wants, Chad. They want it. They want the bloodshed. They want the civil war. They want this. That's what the left wants, Chad.
I wish I wasn't right. I don't want to see anybody die. Not officers, not members of the community, and not the targets of our operations. For the people out there who don't like what ICE is doing, if you want certain laws reformed, then take it up with Congress. Again, ICE is making this up. They're enforcing laws enacted by Congress and signed by the President. The same law.
That's enacted by Congress, okay? Democrat, Republicans, they signed off on this, okay?
Laws have been on the books.
Democrats, get on board because y'all guys signed up for this too, okay? This is what we voted for.
For the last 6 presidents I worked for. I started with President Reagan and ending with President Trump. Every administration, we enforce the same laws. If you don't like what ICE is doing, instead of protesting this building, go protest Congress. Tell me what changes.
There you go, Chad. Yeah, exactly what he said. If you don't like it, go protest Congress.
If you have your First Amendment rights, I support that. You have the right to protest. I'm just asking you to keep it peaceful. But threatening law enforcement officers, engaging in impeding and obstruction.
Now, Chad, not the mayor or governor of Minneapolis did not say what he just said. Ever. Do it peacefully. Don't block the officers from doing their jobs. Protest peacefully, okay? Nowhere in the Constitution does it say you can you can protest and assault people and blah, 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 blah. What the left is doing, Chad. Protest peacefully.
An assault is never okay. And there will be zero tolerance. You interfere, impede, assault ICE officers, you will be arrested.
You will, Chad. They arrested, I think, 21 people yesterday, Chad.
Like I said,
the federal government arrested 21 of these lefty lunatics.
As well as state and local law enforcement. I appreciate they acknowledge this, that public safety should be paramount. The chiefs I've talked to committed to responding to 911 calls when protesters turn violent. Agents are in a dangerous situation and there's assaults. They have committed to upholding public safety and responding to the needs, not to enforce immigration law, but to keep the peace. With that, I call upon those officials to stand shoulder to shoulder with us to tone down the dangerous rhetoric and condemn all unlawful action against law enforcement in the community. There are many ways your voice can be heard, express your feelings, and affect change in the country without crossing that line. Political and other disagreements in this realm should not be at the expense of public safety or the safety of federal law enforcement officers. In closing, I want to thank the state and local officials here in Minnesota that I met with and the many I'm going to meet with. We've had meaningful dialogue. And look, again, we didn't agree on everything, but we agreed on the things I just talked about. There's much more we can do. And I'm going to continue this dialogue. I got many more community leaders to talk to. I got many more sheriffs to meet. President Trump wants this fixed, and I'm going to fix it with your help. I want to thank President Trump for his unwavering commitment to public safety and prosperity of every American. Under the President's leadership, we have the most secure border in the history of this nation, which means less women are being raped, less children are dying crossing that border, less fentanyl is getting in this country to kill Americans, less known suspected terrorists are crossing that country. And we don't have 2 million unknown gotaways. We don't know who the hell they are. A secure border, we have stronger national security. A secure border saves lives. When 96% less people come in, how many women aren't being sexually assaulted by members of the cartel? How many people aren't dying making that journey? How many Americans aren't dying of fentanyl overdoses? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked in this nation? The data proves it. Anybody can find that data. So God bless this great nation. God bless Minnesota. We can do better. And
God bless you, man. Tom Homan post. Tom Homan. Patriot, guys. He's a patriot. All right, chat. Now let's watch the Mayor Jacob Fry. Okay, chat. Let's watch and see what he has to say, guys. Y'all ready for this? His rhetoric. Y'all ready?
This is exactly the group therapy session that I needed. The defenders of parks and streets, which indeed is an honorable profession. We are
From 2028, let's get it, Frosty.
The defenders of democracy. And it is heartwarming to be here with all of you because, I see your name on amicus briefs. I see your faces on TV. I feel the support from across the entire country, and we recognize that one great American city is experiencing an invasion. That is an invasion on our democracy.
Vance, I think Vance going to win, man.
Each and every one of us. And the fact that you all are standing up means the world. Never in a million years did I think that we would be in this place where troops and federal agents by the thousands have been deployed on a great American city.
Right on, Frosty.
Justice is used as a weapon to silence dissent. Where the very foundational principles of our democracy and of our republic are questioned.
Chad, Obama deported 3 million people, okay? He said he's never seen this before. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
I didn't take this job to get into the business of defending democracy. I did it because being a mayor has always been my dream job. There's great honor in filling potholes. It is noble to keep people safe and to build affordable housing. That work which we do every single day is foundational to the principles of our republic, and all the same, we find ourselves in a different position right now. We are on the front lines of a very important battle, And it's important that we aren't silenced, that we aren't put down. This is not a time to bend our heads in despair or out of fear that we may be next, because if we do not speak up, if we do not step out, it will be your city that is next.
And Chad, this is the rhetoric that endangers our ICE, law enforcement, because Chad, they don't care. They just hate law. They hate law enforcement. They hate ICE agents. They hate the government, guys. They do, Chad. Like you see, like ICE is very not involved in the protesters now. It's the cops, and now they're saying they hate the cops now. See, you see where I'm going with this, Chad?
For those of you,
Yeah, I mean, Frosty, exactly what he's doing. He's not telling them to stand down. He's not telling them to protest peacefully. Yeah, you can stand out there with your candle and sing "Kumbaya" whatever, But protesting is not throwing shit at ICE agents, disrupting the peace, shit like that.
that have been watching the news and what's happened in Minneapolis, I'll tell you, it is that bad. People's constitutional rights have been trampled.
Yeah, and our taxpayer monies has been trampled too. $19 billion of it. Where were you at, Mayor? Where were you at, Mayor?
Thousands of federal agents have descended on a city that has 600 police officers. 600 police officers and somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 federal agents, ICE, and Border Patrol. People have been indiscriminately pulled off the street. Discrimination takes place only on the basis of are you Somali, are you Latino, or are you Southeast Asian? And then American citizens have been yanked away from their homes after that solely because they look like they are from Mexico or Ecuador or Somalia. That's not how we operate in America. In America, we have these foundational principles of law. We abide by our Constitution. The rule of law is not just something that you say, but it is something that we practice each and every day. And as mayors, we know that. As mayors, we operate in the reality business. It is a reality that we've got to keep people safe on a daily basis. And by the way, we do that, partnering with a number of different jurisdictions, working with our federal government. In Minneapolis, we've worked extensively with the ATF, the FBI, and the DEA, the U.S. Attorney's Office to successfully drive down crime. And despite what you may hear on different media channels, crime is down in virtually every category and virtually every neighborhood of Minneapolis.
Is it, chat? Is it though? Is it though, chat? How many nights in a row do we see protesters hating shit, not getting arrested? Defacing public property. You know what I mean, chat? How many nights have we seen that?
Minneapolis is a safe city. It is less safe.
Yeah, it's really safe, chat. Look what happened to Jake Lang when he went down there. He got attacked by a mob, chased through the streets like a mob. But it's safe, chat. It's safe, guys.
When chaos reigns supreme, it is less safe when families do not.
Not one cop came to his rescue, chat. Not one cop came to his rescue, guys. Destroying hotels, exactly. But it's peaceful, chat.
Feel comfortable going to school or buying food at the grocery store because they're worried that their very family might get ripped apart. It is
kind of like Jake Lang almost got ripped apart in your city, buddy. Where were the cops at then? You don't have to agree with what he says, but he does deserve to be protected.
It's less safe when we have roving bands of agents marching down the streets just looking for somebody who might be concerned. And I gotta tell you, everybody is concerned when you have that kind of occupation. And so we've been very clear. The Operation Metro Surge needs to end. This kind of conduct and siege needs to stop, not just in Minneapolis. It needs to stop nationwide. What's become clear to me is this is obviously
And chat, you know why? You know why he wants it to stop nationwide? Because all these illegal immigrants are their voter base. All these illegal immigrants are voting Democrat, and that's why every single one of them wants it to stop. And that's the truth, guys. That's the truth. And it needs to stop. It really does, chat. All right, guys. Give me a minute, guys. We're gonna wrap this stream up. Give me a minute. I'll be back live here in about an hour, guys. Until then, I love you guys. This is just kind of like I wanted to try a stream out like this, see how it went. But give me an hour, guys. We'll be back live. We're gonna be live in Minneapolis for the protests that are going on tonight. But until then.